So my mum and dad have gone and done the unthinkable. Very selfishly have decided to go back to their youthful days before children and carry on the dream that they had before we came along and ruined everything. Now, to give you some idea about my brothers, this is them. It's me, Tim, Nick and Adrian. Aren't they cute? They're so cute. They're not like that anymore. They're ugly, disgusting, cretinous human beings. So my mum had me, and then she had 3 triplets. Yes, triplets. 3 babies at once. I know, horrifying, right? I'm the eldest. I'm 29, 31, and my brothers are 27. And it's really interesting to think about. I know a little bit about my parents before I was born. Mum was a fashion designer. She worked with Lisa Ho, Table 8. Dad worked in New Guinea for a while, trained in the army. I think he trained in the army. I remember him talking about having to throw a grenade. Or I'm making that up, but I really feel like I remember. Do you ever watch a movie? And then a couple of years later, you think you've had that conversation with your father? I'm pretty sure Dad threw a grenade in training and then had to hide behind something. I'm not 100% sure on that. That could be a movie. But one thing, and I knew this about my parents, is because we have a painting, an illustration that I'll show you in a sec, is they used to fly and crew a hot air balloon. They owned a hot air balloon. I know, who would have thought? Have you ever encountered anyone that owns a hot air balloon? I mean, what morbid, twisted reality do you have to live on to go, I think I'll get up at 4 a.m. today and risk my life going into the sky in a ball of fabric that's filled with hot air. And then while you're up there in the serenity of Earth, you just go, oh, we're dropping a bit. I'm just going to pull the trigger for the flamethrowers that sit right above my head. And you fire these like jet cannons of fire, like that literally are just there. And then you gently glide up a little bit more. And you have no control. In a hot air balloon, you have no control of where you're going. It's wherever the wind will take you. Again, what sane human being would want to do that? I mean, I struggle to get in an airplane with that I know where I'm going. I will have entertainment while I'm up there. I can pop to the loo. There's a food trolley. And I can have some alcohol if I please. Then I get to my destination. I paid for a ticket to land here in Sydney. No, a balloon, you just sort of fly up in the farmland and then land, hopefully nowhere near power lines, in a weirdo's farmyard area. And then the people on the ground, right, so the ground crew just have to drive and follow the balloon. What if there are no roads? What if the balloon goes beyond the ocean? What do you do then? Risking their lives. Every day, you get in a hot air balloon and you risk your life. So my parents have decided, let's go and rediscover the days of our youth before we ruined our lives with children. And that's right, they are going back to crew and fly a hot air balloon. And when I say they're going back, they're already doing it. They're 3 days into their 7-day adventure, retirees adventure into the air. No regard for their children. None whatsoever. They're just like, if we die, we die. Then that's not their words. Their words are, no, it's perfectly safe. No, it's not. You're getting into a ball of fabric filled with hot air that ascends into the sky that you have no control over. And Mum and Dad are like, we've done this heaps of times. Yeah, you did it 30 plus years ago. What's really cute is Mum keeps sending me all these photos. Let me show you. Where's my phone? So she sends me these photos in the hopes that it calms me down, because Christian, you're being dramatic. It's just a humble balloon flight. So this was the view. Mum was going up in the balloon in this one. So this is the video footage. As you can see, Mum has a really great phone with great quality. Can you hear that? Can you hear the roar of the jets? When the death fire isn't going on above you, it's beautiful. It's dead quiet. You hear nothing. So you're just, gliding away, having a great time, and then suddenly you hear this noise. Mum's like, we got to 5,000 feet today. 5,000 feet in the air. To which I said, Can you even breathe that high? And of course I hear my dad start laughing in the background. Oh, like we all have a degree in hot air ballooning. Like I know if you can breathe 5,000 feet. I don't know these things, Dad. I'm not some weirdo, morbid freak that goes up 5,000 feet in a hot air balloon. What sane, normal individual knows where the air stops? 5,000 feet? Don't planes fly at 5,000 feet? He had the nerve to laugh at me. I am concerned for their safety. They are geriatrics. And they are flying in a contraption that is not designed for geriatrics to control. Here's another photo. That's looking up. That's looking up at the jet propulsion system. How lethal does that look? This is another really great quality video. That's Dad. So he's ascending to his death there. Yeah, have a great flight, Dad. Never see you again. Bye. Oh, doesn't that look like the single most terrifying thing you could possibly do? And they're doing it. Right, this is Dad. So this is Mum crewing from the ground, following the balloon. That's a really reassuring shot. The balloon is touching a power line. Now, I understand that balloon is nowhere near those power lines, but why would you send your son, who's freaking out, a shot of a balloon touching power lines? Come on, Mum. This is the first photo she sent me. Now, I cried when I saw this because I thought it was a balloon tangled in power lines, right? Now, get your head around the fact that this is a frog balloon. It's a balloon, hot air balloon, that's a frog. Now, tell me this does not look like it's caught in the power lines, right? It looks like it's stuck in power lines. That is the first photo she sent me. Oh, we're having a great time. Here's a photo. I'm like, Christ, Mum, it looks like you're about to die. Or as my hilarious father said, oh, we didn't croak. Oh, that's real funny, Dad. That's really funny. I'm laughing hilariously. I know Mum will be watching this video. Look at that, Mum. Look at the 3 children you're going to be leaving behind. Oh, and me. But look at that. Are you going to say goodbye to all those little faces? I'm all for my parents selling my family home, buying a nice retirement place in the Blue Mountains and living out their dreams of, I don't know, retirement-hood. But those dreams, for me, was them sitting in the sun on some sort of reclining chair that also self-elevates so they can get out of it, reading the paper or a novel by Patricia Cornwall, not going back to their glory days and going in a hot air balloon. Let me show you. Here is the photo. Here is a painting by my great aunt Doreen. So this balloon here was the balloon my parents owned and flew. Right? There they are. Oh, look, we're young and child-free. We don't care about our lives, is what they were saying. Oh, yes, but when you have kids, you give up all fun. You give up all fun, John and Karen. Look, no fun for you for the rest of your life. She even painted in, look, there's our old car, it's a Subaru. This is the car, yep, that's our first car. Had to sell that when we had triplets, couldn't fit them all in it. Look there, little baby Christian just being left in the car while my parents fly off into the distance. They sold the balloon, not when they were pregnant. Oh, we better give up ballooning, John, it's very risky if we've got children. No, they had me, and then they took me up in the air as a 2-month-old child. How's this for great parenting? When I was 2 or 3 or 4 months old, they took me up in their balloon. They had yet sold it. They didn't sell it when they were pregnant. No, they kept it and took up their firstborn son into the yondereth heavens where he could have died. And you know what? Having a 4-month-old and then, do you know how they land a hot air balloon? Like this. Ugh. Yeah, it just tips over. It's not like a beautiful aeroplane landing. It's literally, you come in, right, and you hit the ground, but the balloon keeps going, and then it tips over, and then you fall out of the balloon. How is a 70-year-old and a 62-year-old supposed to do that without breaking lots of bones and hurting their arthritic hands? I want my parents to be happy, but I only want my parents to be happy if I am happy. And I am happy when they're sitting down, sipping tea, reading the paper in a controlled environment on the ground. Mum called me before. She's loving it. Mum and Dad are loving it. They are having the time of their life while I am here at home worrying about them. When did the roles become reversed? I am but a child of theirs. I don't get worried for them. They worry about me. I don't worry about them. I expressed this disconcern, to which they were like, oh, we're tired, we're going to bed, we're up at 4:30. I know my mum will watch this video, and Mum, I hope you listen to what I have to say. I'm very disappointed in you. No, I'm not. All humour aside, I'm very happy for them. I'm not happy at all. Let's just abandon our children. We've done all we can for them. Let's just float away and leave them be. If I was a parent, I would have done that when they were born. Just escaped out of the world. Oh, we've got no control. The hot air balloon is taking us wherever it takes us. To the Wizard of Oz or wherever I don't know, isn't that where hot air balloons go?